Good morning to all. Welcome to Pondering with Teacher Van channel. This segment is called Radio Fridays. When we were in high school, our advisor would ask us to form a big circle using our seats. And I thought we are going to learn some knowledge, like those that we usually learn in the school subjects. Pero lo and behold, it was more of a bonding time, students speaking freely. Sometimes there were crying, most of the times there were jokes, laughters, and of course, class meetings. Today, I will talk about Quarter 1 Homeroom Guidance, Module Number 2, Discovering the Road to Self-Discipline. For today's program, let us focus on one person who recently riveted our attention because she showed the power of women and she did popularize the sports weightlifting. She is Miss Hidilyn Diaz. Sinabi ko sa mga students ko kahapon sa aming virtual homeroom guidance and class meeting na rin na panoorin ang kwento ni Hidilyn sa MMK. Makikita rin iyan sa YouTube dahil ito ay kapupulutan ng aral. Before I start, here are some questions that we will discuss. Question number 1. What was the weakness of Hidilyn as was shown in the film? Question number 2. Who are the person who didn't believe young Hidilyn? Who are those who supported her? Do you think people who believes and motivate are important to an athlete? Why? Question number 3. What was the goal of Hidilyn? Question number 4. What were the obstacles that she encountered? Question number 5. What were the distractions that hindered Hidilyn in achieving her goal? Question number 6. Cite some crucial must-haves for a person to have a strong self-discipline. Question number 7. Describe the discipline shown by Hidilyn. Number 8. How did Hidilyn show the young people that she can triumph against odds? Question number 9. What is the lesson that you learned in this film? Question number 10. In the absence of a coach or a guide, who can be your supporter? In the Depth Ed Homeroom's Guidance module, tips on how to develop self-discipline were given to us. These are: number 1, know and conquer your weakness. Number 2, keep clear goals and have action plans. Number 3, commit to self-discipline. And 4, avoid distraction. Number 1, know and conquer your weakness. We exhibit weakness when we lack the motivation and the strength to continue reaching our goals. These weaknesses could come from externally or emanate from within. From the MMK film, Hidilyn Diaz's story, I witnessed that Hidilyn's weakness comes more from the external. She gets demotivated when she feels that she is alone and her family members are not supporting her in her dream of winning a gold medal in weightlifting sport. This idea that her loved ones do not support her fully, she brings into training. There were several times that this weakness dominated her, causing her to lose some of her big games. Hidilyn was lucky because at that time she had her weightlifting coach, Coach Tony Agustin, who helped her. It was Coach Tony who told her words of wisdom and who had served her constant and faithfully as guide. He taught her to dedicate on the sport. Coach Tony often says, kapag ikaw nasa gym, buong puso mo at utak mo dapat nandito. Although it was really difficult, he was obviously the one who taught Hidilyn to forget all her family problems and set her mind only on that heavy iron that she will lift. He constantly reminded her that she had to go on, reaching her dreams despite all the turmoil all around her. He said, kung mahal mo ang isang bagay, kailangan mong ibigay ng buong-buo ang puso mo. Kahit mahirap, kahit punong-puno ng gulo sa paligid mo. Kung hindi nila kaya magbigay ng inspirasyon sa iyo, ikaw ang magbibigay ng inspirasyon sa kanila. How lucky a young person is when he or she finds a teacher. It is because discipline is something older people knows better. They have thought about it more because they have experienced losing, being so down, disfavored, and all this bad stuff that is part of our life. As what we have seen in the film, these external and internal downers can be conquered with, number 1, a mind that is focused on achieving the goal. And number 2, a mind that welcomes a coach or a teacher that can help in instilling discipline. Number 2, keep clear goals and have action plans. When asked what is her goal, a young Hidilyn replied that she wants to win a gold medal in weightlifting. We can see that even at a young age, she already has a clear goal. One scene from the film that I cannot forget was when young Hidilyn was being discouraged and laughed at by some of her cousins and some kids in their place because she is just a girl trying to enter a man's sports. When I think about this scene, I realize our weakness could be cruelly created and imposed to us by the people who does not like us to be better than them. Despite the occasional receiving of bullying and discouragement, Hidilyn still tried. Guided with his cousin Catalino, she began practicing weightlifting in just a backyard gym. The scholarship and stipend that goes with being a weightlifter also motivated young Hidilyn to continue. This teaches us that our initial attempts to our goal will be laughed at by some people, and these people will attempt to discourage us. Thus, we should not listen to these bashers. We just have to continue. Older Hidilyn found herself with the sad fact that Filipino athletes were not fully financially supported. To her surprise, she even got red tagged as belonging to a group of people who are planning to depose the president. And in her training, she found the bitter truth that the national athletes still lack fundings for their trainings. But surprisingly, all of this did not defeat her goal of winning a gold medal. With having an action plan, I agree with what Manila Bulletin said, that Hidilyn had worked and surrounded herself with good people. Even though weightlifting is a solo sport, Hidilyn was fortunate to have good team support. She cooperated with them and listened to their instructions all the time. Committing to self-discipline. Losing in 2008 and 2012, Hidilyn went on stricter diet, dropping weight from 58 kg to under 53 kg, and more intense training. This paid off, for she won the silver medal in Rio Olympics in 2016. She committed to self-discipline and even surpassed her previous efforts in training. The pandemic affected everyone and she was stuck in Malacca this year in Malaysia. There she has to be creative in her training because no gym were open because of the COVID-19 quarantines. We've seen Hidilyn lifting gallons of water and running in the car park just to be in shape. She has shown here that we can commit to self-discipline even if the situation is very difficult. Number 4, avoid distractions. As we have seen in her actions, we can tell that Hidilyn's dedication to the discipline and training is something that became a part of her. I think discipline is something hard to commit at first, but through the years of continuously practicing, it eventually became a part of the athlete. There was a time when the coaching staff of Hidylyn took her to the mountain so that she can only focus on training. The coaching staff knows that when there is so much going on in an athlete's mind, it affects her performance. In this part, I think we all need a mountain where we can be alone to focus on our goal. I recall an earlier scene from Hidilyn's life, which was shown in the film, wherein finally her family members expressed their pride and love for what she is doing. That gave a boost to Hidilyn. What I'm thinking right now is people in authority, older people, older kids and relatives, ought to help a young person to focus on his or her goals. We can help him or her lessen the many distractions or problems inside his or her head by being kind, empathizing, and believing in their actions. Thank you very much for listening to another Radio Fridays for our Homeroom Guidance. This is Mr. Luna, and I hope you have learned good values in this Homeroom Guidance video.